Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. Okay, so today or tonight or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be talking about this whole Kenneka Jenkins situation. If you guys are familiar with my channel from last year, I did a video talking about this whole Kenneka Jenkins situation, and I talked about this in full detail. I talked about a lot of aspects around this case, and it looks like now her mother is suing the hotel for $50 million in negligence of her daughter's death. So I'm going to go to the Chicago news report to give you guys the new up-to-date information. And then from there, I'll probably talk about some of the backstory for those of you who didn't follow this whole Kenneka Jenkins case and everything like that. But I'm going to go to the news article to read it to you guys and bring you guys up to speed on this new lawsuit that her mother is now bringing forth on the hotel. So this is the news channel in Chicago, and that's where they are from, Chicago. So it says pretty much, Kenneka Jenkins' mother sues Rosemont Hotel for $50 million. And then it says Rosemont, the mother of a woman found dead in a hotel freezer in Rosemont has filed a lawsuit asking for $50 million in damages. Kenneka Jenkins disappeared in September 2017 while attending a party at the Crowne Plaza Hotel. Surveillance video showed her wandering alone through a kitchen area and toward a freezer. Her body was found the next day. Relatives and friends questioned whether she was the victim of foul play, but police said her death from hypothermia was an accident. The lawsuit claims the defendants were negligent because they didn't secure the walk-in freezer or conduct a proper search when Jenkins went missing. So like I said, I covered this heavily. And for those of you who are not familiar with this story, basically what happened is Kenneka Jenkins was at a party. And while she was at this party, I'm trying to move this thing over. Okay. So while she was at the party, she wandered off, and supposedly she wandered off and she ended up in a freezer. Well, her friends end up leaving her at this party, and they left her in her mother's car that they came in. They went to her mom's house to notify her mom basically that she was missing, that they couldn't find her. The mom came back to the hotel and she told the hotel to review the surveillance footage. And when her mom told the hotel to review the surveillance footage, clearly they did not review it. They didn't review it when she said they didn't conduct a proper investigation at that time, because if they would have clearly viewed the surveillance, they would have seen her wander into the area in which she died in the freezer. So her mother is suing the hotel for damages. For those of you who don't remember the case, I'm going to show you the moments that led up to her passing away. And then I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about the situation. It was a very sad situation that happened. And like I said, last year, I covered every single moment on this story because I was following it, because I was really trying to figure out, like, what happened to her? Did somebody do this to her? Was it just her wandering there? It was a lot of stuff. So I'm going to show you guys the videos moments before she ultimately died in the freezer. And then I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about this situation and go to another article to read some more about, the lawsuit and things like that. So this is a video footage of Kenneka, and this is when she was walking into the freezer area and wandering around. Sound on the video. So that's her right there stumbling around the hotel. And pretty much her mother claims, like, if you guys did your job, you would have seen my daughter wandering around. You would have seen that she was needing of assistance and the staff pretty much just failed her. And so this is her wandering about, and she ultimately wanders into the freezer. So this is the video. So this is her like going on different levels, just wandering around the hotel, clearly disheveled, clearly under some type of influence. And none of the staff came to her aid, her help, or anything. That's her walking into the kitchen area, and this is where she was last seen, where she goes behind that wall, and then she enters into the freezer, and then that's when she pretty much died after that. So that was one of the videos. Another one of the videos surrounding this situation was the live videos that happened the night of the party. The night of the party, there was a lot of speculation that happened before she went into the freezer and things like that. Her friends were suspects. A lot of people condemned them because they were like, how could you let your friend wander around? How could y'all not notice that she was gone? How could you guys just leave without her? You guys must have set her up. Like, a lot of people felt like they set her up and everything like that. I'm going to share a little bit of the video the night in question before she started wondering. And then I'm going to go back to the news article to fill you guys in on exactly everything, like line by line, what they're saying the mother is, you know, suing for $50 million. So this video right here is the night that she went missing. Video.
You funny as fuck, Ruby.
So the girl right there, this is one of her friends, and her friend kind of went live, and like a lot of people thought that she had got raped in the background. They thought it was a lot of stuff happening surrounding this case.
What you say, Gil? Smart. I really need the weed, bro. Damn, I just got the weed. Let me see who you talking to. It don't matter. I'm putting my face on this. Did you put any enforce in it? What the fuck? It's on the weekend's connection.
So these are her two friends. That's another one of her friends that was supposed to have, you know, been involved in the situation. She was there. She came to the party with her. And Kenneka was in the background of them, apparently like in the bathroom or something. And so a lot of people thought like something was going on in the bathroom. There was a lot of, you know, speculation as to what was going on in this whole case. If you guys want to see that video, it's on my channel. So you could probably
What the fuck?
So you see right there, that was a big part of it. Like when she looked back and she said, you know, what the fuck or whatever, a lot of people thought something was happening to Kenneka at that moment. But then there was later surveillance videos that showed that she was alive at this moment, and like they were partying, and it was like more people partying and everything like that. So if you guys want to see this video is on my channel, and you can just watch the full live to see like the moments and everything that was going on that night. But I'm going to go to TMZ to read you guys pretty much what they're saying the mother is suing for. So I'm going to go back to the other news article. So this is according to TMZ, and it says, Chicago, Kenneka Jenkins' mother sues hotel for $50 million over a year after teen found dead in the freezer. And so it says, the mother of Kenneka Jenkins, who was found dead in a hotel, says the establishment is to blame for her daughter's 2017 death and now wants $50 million. Teresa has filed suit on behalf of her late daughter's estate against the Crown Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel for negligence, claiming there were several opportunities for the company and its staff to step in and help prevent Kenneka's death last September, but failed to do so. In the docs obtained by TMZ, Teresa alleges that the hotel was made aware of Kenneka's disappearance from a room where a party was being thrown shortly after she wandered off, and says that she was assured by Crown Plaza personnel that they checked surveillance footage in an attempt to locate her right away. She says they completely screwed that up. So, yeah, and I remember all of this because I followed all of this. Like, they told her that they would look into the footage, and it wasn't until like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours had passed that they finally did look at the footage. And when they finally did look at the footage, they realized that's where she went. And had they when the mother was frantic in the first place, they probably could have saved her life, because the mom went to the hotel like right away when her friends got home from using her car. So it also says, Teresa says the hotel staff either didn't check the footage soon enough or didn't properly review it, because the 19-year-old could be seen clear as day stumbling into the kitchen in a video later obtained and released by police who investigated her death. She goes on to allege that Kenneka walked by several hotel staffers who didn't help her, and that the freezer Kenneka walked into was easily accessible to the public. She also claims the freezer had a faded sticker on it and failed to instruct people how to unlock the door. So pretty much like once she locked herself in, she had no instructions or know-how on how to get out. And ultimately, that could be contributed to why she did not make it out of the freezer. It says, Kenneka's body was found in the freezer nearly 24 hours after she was reported missing. Her cause of death was hypothermia, and it was ruled accidental. Tons of rumors swirled around the circumstances of her death, with some suspecting foul play. Despite the police closing out their investigation without any arrests or charges, Kenneka's mother says the blame still lies on the hotel. She's asking for more than $50 million in damages. The Crown Plaza released a statement to the Chicago Tribune, and in their statement it says, the death of Kenneka Jenkins was tragedy, but the proximate cause of her death were the unsavory individuals who used a stolen credit card to book a room and host an illegal party which Miss Jenkins attended. Those criminals escaped the hotel before police arrived and have never truly been held accountable. This lawsuit has no merit, and we will vigorously contest it. Wow. A girl dies in your hotel. You guys failed to aid her, and y'all want to blame the fact that the room was booked under an illegal credit card? I hope the mama get every penny. Like, I hope the mom get every penny. I hadn't even read their report, but I hope their mama gets some type of money. Like I said, if you go to my channel and if you go to the search and you type in Kenneka, type in her name, you guys will be brought up to speed, because I covered this story and everything like that. So those of you who were not aware of it when it happened, you can definitely catch up and find out everything that happened from my channel. I'm going to go to the chat to see what some of you guys are saying now. So Nuna B says, this is, she needs to sue Selena Gomez. Wait, what? She should sue the police department as well. Ms. React says, it's sad how hotels and franchises always finding a loophole to not pay for damages that caused to the victims. Honey Dip says, it's unfortunate that the family she's up against is some powerful MFers. They high up there for real. If this whole thing is even real at all, I'm not convinced it's not all, what? I don't know, SYOP? What is that? I don't know. Leela is responding to somebody. I don't know who Leela is responding to. There's no statute of limitations in murder in any state. Let's see. Yeah, so what do you guys think? Do you think that she should be paid damages, or do you think that there is somebody else who should be charged in this situation? Like, there was a lot of rumors who said that the friends were the cause, and there was a lot of rumors that she simply just was drunk, inebriated, and she ended up in the freezer. Do you think that this was negligence on the hotel and they should have secured that the place that she passed away at should not have been accessible? Or do you think that the responsibility lies on her for being inebriated? Like, what do you guys think about this? Because like I said, there was a lot of rumors surrounding this case. I see somebody just commented in the chat and said that, oh, okay, a government hoax. Oh, okay, I didn't know what that meant. So what do you think? What do you think the issue is? Do you think that it was foul play, or do you think that it was just her wandering off? Do you think that the hotel should have had it secure in that area and should have bear witness to a wandering teenager wandering around in their hotel and should have aided her before it got to the point where she was in the hotel freezer? Me, myself, personally, I think that her mom should be suing, because if you're running a hotel and you're looking at surveillance 24/7, your job is to protect your guests. Like, if you have why do you have security if the security is not going to secure the location? And if I come to you and you already know that there was a rowdy hotel party, and I tell you that my child is missing, and I tell you that there's things going on, and all I ask of you is to review the surveillance footage, I feel like the least that they could do is say, hey, let me rewind back this footage to see if there's anything off within the last hour. Like, if they would have just looked an hour at it, you know what I'm saying? Or rewind back till they've seen anything that remotely looks suspicious on the surveillance. Instead of it being 24 hours, her life probably could have been saved, and she could have been, found right away. So I think that the hotel was negligent, because her mom has always advocated that she told them, and they even said, the people that at the hotel, they even confirmed that the mom was swift in coming to the hotel and making them aware, and that they failed to look at the surveillance right away. So I think that the hotel has a lot of responsibility in this, and I feel like she gets her coin. Even though her suing them, at the end of the day, it's not going to bring her daughter back. It's not going to replace the loved one that she had. It's not going to, bring back the memories. It's not going to bring her back at all. But shit, if they gonna pay, they should pay. And Selena Gomez was shooting the video of her stepping in a freezer. What does that have to do with Kenneka? I don't know what that has to do with Kenneka. I feel like it's too many questions and unanswered questions to say who's at fault. It's a lot of cover-ups. The thing is, no matter how many questions there are surrounding this, the clear-cut thing is she was wandering around the hotel. Her mother did tell them to review the footage. So if they would have reviewed the footage like her mother asked, then this could have been avoided a long time ago, and her life could have probably been saved. So I feel like the hotel does have some faults in it. Let's see. Leela, wait. I don't know what. Okay, so Leela responded to somebody, and somebody was responding back. Tay Meek says, police never put up yellow tape, block off the crime. Shalon said, right. She said, you're right. Alicia, foul play for sure, but the freezer should not have been accessible. Pay her and make some arrests. This story was sad and very disturbing. Nothing makes sense. Correct. Like, if the freezer is, because remember, those of you who followed this story, if you remember, the freezer was not just a random freezer that was there. The freezer was supposed to be not even working. It was supposed to be closed off kitchen. So the kitchen was closed off. The section is going under construction. They're remodeling the whole area. Why is the freezer even on for her to freeze herself to death? That's something that kind of never made sense to me. So I think all around, it shouldn't have been accessible for her to enter into the freezer, because mind you, these big walk-in freezers, they have locks. Like, a place that I worked had a big walk-in freezer. You open up the freezer and everything like that, and it locks with a key. So if this is an area that people are not supposed to go in, why was it not locked with a key for her not to be able to get in the freezer in the first place? I don't know. But I just wanted to come to you guys and give you guys that story real quick, because I did cover this topic. I was like, you know what? Let me go live real quick and give an update to what's going on. And like I said, I feel like the hotel definitely does have a big role in it. That doesn't excuse if there was a person who led her down there, because that was another thing. I'm not saying someone didn't lead her down there and other people are not responsible, but whether somebody led her down there or she walked down there by herself, the security should have done their job to find you're watching surveillance to watch for suspicious activity. So if somebody is suspiciously leading somebody down to a freezer or somebody is wandering to a freezer, the surveillance footage should be catching that, and the security is supposed to be watching for that. So I feel like all in all, I feel like they have some accountability in this. Thank you, Brandon Gary, for the donation. I haven't seen you on my page in a while. You've been MIA or what? But thank you for the donation. And again, I just wanted to bring that to you guys really quickly. And I wanted to see what you guys felt about it. And that's pretty much it for that video. I might end this video and go live again and bring you guys another news story. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to bring y'all that. Let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing out on before I exit fully. It's a lot of fault to go around, but I agree. Let's see. The security was involved. Tay Meek says, hey, Paris. Davion says it wasn't her mother's fault. They were supposed to go bowling. What happened? Oh, wait. Oh, somebody blamed the mom. I don't even know what they said, but yeah. I remember this story. So basically, they lied and told the mom that they were going somewhere else, and Kenneka was driving her mom's car. So if you tell your mom you're going somewhere, like this person just replied back, Davion, you can't blame the mom for thinking that the child is going to a bowling alley, that she ends up at a hotel party. Cars travel fast. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like the mom is to blame for that. And even if she was going to the hotel party and the mother knew she was going to the hotel party, she was 18 or 19. I think she was 19 years old. So she was technically, quote unquote, an adult. So if she wanted to go to a hotel party, she could have went to a hotel party if she wanted to, in my opinion. She was old enough to do and go where she wanted to go. She wasn't a teenager that was in school and should be having a bedtime. She was at least 18 or 19. I can't remember if it was 18 or 19, but it was one of those ages. And I feel like she was old enough to, even if she told her mom to go to she was going bowling, she was old enough to go where she wanted to go. Yeah, I knew she was 19 or 18. Paris said she was 19, so she was definitely out of school at that point and can make her own decisions on where she went. So she was old enough to go where she went, in my opinion. Queen Butterfly says, terrible. They were looking for trouble. Mother should have dropped her daughter off and pick her up. She was old enough to go where she wanted to go. She was 19 years old. She wasn't at the drop me off and pick me up age. She wasn't 16. She wasn't 15. She wasn't 14. She was 19 years old. So even if she told her mom the truth and said that she was going to a hotel party, she was old enough to drive herself there. She was 19. Shalon says, I be trying to catch you when you go live. Well, thank you. Thanks for trying to catch me, girl. I see you. I see you. Ms. React says, thanks. She wasn't a baby. The question is, with the friends, where was those friends at? Right. Honey Dip says, hotel has connections to organ trafficking as well. If there is some, you know what, before I end this live, if there's any of y'all who want to call in and give your thoughts on this, I'll open up the phone lines for you. Matter of fact, that's what I will do. If you guys remember this case, you follow this case, and you have opinions about this case, I'll open up the phone lines and then you can call in and give your opinion on this situation. How does that sound? Y'all want me to open up the phone lines? Let's see. Okay, I'm going to open up the phone lines. Paris says yes, so that means Paris better at least call. Paris better at least call. Okay, so I'm opening up the phone lines now. Okay, the phone lines are open. If you guys want to call in, the number is 605-468-8756, and the access code is 284538. Oh, Leela, I hope you're doing good, girl. You had surgery. Feel better and get you a good night, okay? If you guys want to call in, the number is 605-468-8756. You just dial that number and then you put in the access code. And yeah, well wishes to Leela for sure. You put in the access code 284538. I hope you better. I'm gonna DM Leela later. I didn't even know she. Hopefully you get better. And feel better. Of course. So the number is 605-468. Okay.
Hi, my name is Susan Thomas.
Hi, Susan. What do you have to say about this situation?
I just think this is such a sad case.
I agree with you. Did you follow this when it happened and hear about everything that was going on?
That, you know, her friends should at least...
Hello?
I didn't hear about everything, but I've seen a lot of people talk about it.
What were you saying about her friends? Hello?
Shalon. Well, her friends should have kept by her because she was like intoxicated.
You're right. Well, thank you for calling in. I'm going to take the next caller, okay? Hello?
Thank you. Have a nice night.
You too. Okay, 832. Hello?
Yes, hello?
Hi, how are you? What are your thoughts on this situation?
Well, I have been following this story since it first came out. And I just have to say, when I first heard about it, it just seemed strange. The friends just seemed suspect. I think it was sad that, I'm a firm believer, if we come together, we leave together. And so I think it was just weird that they did not, knowing that she was under the influence of alcohol, that they just weren't really watching her or sticking by her, and just all the different stories that they were telling. It just seemed like it was some fishy stuff going on. And then when the video started to come out, it just really started raising some eyebrows, like what the hell is really going on? Because you could see that there were editing to the tapes, all kind of stuff. So I really do believe that this girl was murdered. It almost reminded me of the movie Hostel. Just the way things happened. It just was so weird. But I really do feel like that girl was murdered. I feel like people in that hotel have something to do with it. And I'm glad that the mother is going through with this lawsuit because some strange stuff was going on here. That girl did not just walk in that freezer because she was drunk and just decided to lay down and go to sleep.
It was very, very questionable. And like I said, I covered this so heavily and I was just like, wait, what? This don't make sense. That don't make sense. And then when her friends went to her funeral, they was like all turning up and they was all hypey. And I was like, but your friend just died. And of course, you can't tell somebody how to grieve. You can't tell somebody how to moan. But just the way that she died, and so tragically, it's like, it's one thing if somebody dies and they're okay. Or not to say they die and they're okay, but they die and it's not a tragic situation. But if it's something that's so tragic and your friend dies and they're in the freezer and it's all this stuff, and then when you go to their funeral and then you just so hypey and you so turned up, that kind of to me was just like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Right. It just seemed that whole story just was really weird. Just even the tapes that they released, it just was some things just were not adding up. And unfortunately, this girl's life was taken. And I think her story really woke people up to a lot of things that were sleep on. especially with the, the organ donating and all this other stuff. It just really, I think, woke some people up like, hey, okay, we really need to start paying attention to things because things just weren't adding up. And I just hope that one day that the mother gets some type of answers as to what happened. Because just when those pictures were released of how she looked in that freezer,
Right.
it just didn't seem like this girl just went in there and just went to sleep and just died from hypothermia. It looked like somebody was trying to assault her. I mean, her bra was lifted up, her pants was halfway down. I just don't believe the story that they tried to give to say how this girl died.
Right. I agree with you. Thank you so much for calling in. I'm going to go ahead and take the next caller. Thank you for calling, though.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. 678. Hello?
Hello.
Hi. How are you? What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
My thoughts is I have been following this case ever since it had happened. And the thing about it is, when you look at them pictures, the camera, her friends, like, she was so drunk to the point, how can she walk to that freezer by herself?
Right.
Someone took her to that freezer. You know what I'm saying? And as you can see, like, it was staggering. Like, you know how they were showing, like, the camera and, like, footage. It looked like something like the shadow. Somebody was holding that girl going to that freezer. You know, and then, like you said, her parents was down when they found her. She had scars, you know, on her ankles. Like you said, her bra was down. That girl had been messed with before they put her in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm drunk, I'm not going to be able to even go to a kitchen or even open up a kitchen door.
I mean, well,
you know
she was seen walking on her own, though. Like, so she was able to walk. Now, I'm not saying nobody didn't lead her there, but she was walking, though, on her own.
I mean,
around.
Yeah, she was walking, but you see how staggered, you know, she was.
Yeah.
So somebody had to been helping her.
Yeah, I feel like it's a possibility. It's a possibility that, like, the friends, this person, that person, we don't really know what happened because the police closed the investigation so fast. But what I do agree with is the photos of the freezer after the fact. Stop, Leah. The photos after the fact show and tell a story because it's like, why are these bruises here that cannot be explained?
Right.
Go ahead and go back in your room.
Exactly. And then, like you said, they was turning up, going to the funeral. Like, what type of friends is that?
Right.
What type of friends is that? Like, ain't no way in the world my friend's about to be turning up and something tragic just happened to, you know, me or however the case.
Yeah, that's just...
So all that sounds fishy to me, but I do feel like the mother should, I think she should take action on the hotel and the police because they stuck the case.
Yeah, I think that it was the police and the security, I believe, that she was suing. But yeah, she definitely should, for sure.
Yeah. And then I know, I'm going to say this one last thing, because I know, like, I'm from Detroit, and when all this had happened, they had found a place, a building over, like, somewhere on the east side where they was getting dead people and getting their organs. And they found this place.
Yeah, there was a lot of stories of organ donating and organ trafficking and all of that back in that time. And we never know what happened. But thank you so much for calling in. I'm going to go ahead and take the next caller. Okay.
All right, you take care.
Okay, you too. Okay, 347, hello?
Hey there, Nick. It's Paris.
Hey, Paris girl. Did you follow this? Did you follow this case?
Oh yes, absolutely. Wait. Every time I saw the video, I was like obsessed about this case, honestly, because I have a teenage son, and I'm just thinking like, wow, to be with a group of friends and nobody could say where, you know, what happened. That's crazy. One of my nephews was murdered at the African Day Parade in Harlem, which is a huge parade in New York.
I can hear you, Paris. I'm gonna help my baby real quick, but go ahead, finish talking.
Okay. So yeah, one of my nephews was murdered at the African Day Parade, and that's a huge Like, that's a big deal. And for nobody to know anything, it really sounds suspect when a situation like that happens and you're with a group of people.
Yeah.
That's not cool. And another thing is like with school. All right, it's understood that the parent is supposed to, enforce that the child, know what to do in these kind of cases. But I feel like, high school at least, they should also have, some kind of class about being together in these types of situations, because they do go on senior trips. Like my son is being.
I mean, but that's the parents' responsibility too, to be teaching that, because my mom has always
Absolutely.
embedded, like, if you come together, you stay together. Yeah. And one of the things that my mom used to do when I used to be so embarrassed, because I used to be like, Mom, leave me alone. Anytime I left the house, this was before, I didn't have no ID or nothing like that. So my mom would always put in my pocket my phone, like her phone number, and like, like how to contact her in case like I'm somewhere, something happened to me. They can always contact me in case like I don't have a phone on me or my friends are not, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll like her number or contact. That's something she would do. It's different things that parents would do. Here, Leah, take this in there, in your room. Okay. Say bye to everybody. Say bye. Bye. I'm about to go do my homework. I'm about to go in my room and watch TV. No, you're about to go do your homework. Go get your homework. Yeah. She's supposed to have been doing her homework while I was going live. But yeah, so that's what my mom used to do when I was young. Yeah. But I feel like it's our job as parents to teach our children. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If you go together, you stay together. Like, I mean, you come back together. Mm-hmm. You leave together, you come back together. Right. Like if your friend trying to be a thought and she's trying to leave with a boy, I don't care if she mad at you, but no, we coming home together. And if he won't come pick you up later, then it ain't on me. You know? Right.
But I also feel like, in this time, the culture that we live in, these millennials, like in class, like they need to cultivate a curriculum based on those type of experiences. At least for the senior classes. We do talk to our children. We talk to our children about school, about their academics. So why not these type of situations? Just for, secondary reinforcement, not first. We're the first ones to talk. Right, but it's just nice that the children together should have a conversation, and pick their brains, hypothetical, experiences. So that this way, if something like that happens, then boom, it's like, oh, I remember this in class because there were certain things that I can remember in school, and I'll say, oh yeah, I remember this, and it will help me in an experience, Right. Although I probably heard it already from my parents, but it's nice when everyone is on the same page. Also, off of that, though her friends, not to judge or anything, but Kenneka was a very attractive young lady, and her friends were not up to her level, okay? It could have been some jealousy. I'm just saying. It probably, I feel like it was planned. She was walking like a zombie, which was, that was a breaking point. Like, wow, that's what you call drunk. And I could just imagine a freezer door. That must have been very heavy. For her to have been drunk, quote unquote, how could she open the door? Like how could she coordinate her strength like that? You don't even have strength when you're drunk. Your body is flaccid. Like you just your limbs kind of like dry. You don't have that type of strength like that. A young lady just to open a freezer door and sit in there. That doesn't look good.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Paris, for calling in. Call back in if nobody else calls in, but I'm going to take the next caller, okay?
Sure. Do your thing. Peace, everybody.
All right. Hello?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Who's this? I'm like, who's this? Huh?
This is Leah.
Oh, your name is Leah, too?
Yeah, Lea.
Oh, okay. That's my baby's name, too.
I was actually... Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my baby's name. That's why you said your name is Leah. I was like, huh? But go ahead.
Yes, Leah. So I've been following this case, probably since day 2. Since, the video came out and, Miss Teresa, introduced her daughter to the world by telling people she needed help because she was found at this hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a couple things that really bothered me when it came out. One of those things were the fact that she was supposed to be going to the movies with her friends, and then something changed and they pressured her into going to this party.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the beginning, I do remember a news report coming out saying when the mother went to the hotel about her daughter,
right,
and she asked about viewing the tapes. I do remember them saying that Kenneka was seen on tape walking through the lobby at about 3:20 in the morning.
There was time differences, if that's what you're saying.
There was never that tape never dropped, but that was what they gave the public to pacify us.
Mm-hmm.
But that tape never came out. Also, once the mother came and she asked them to look at the tapes, and they went looking for her, the hotel was very uncooperative with her. They called the police on the mother and the other family and the friends that was there with the mother, because they said they were causing a disturbance. Now, if I were working at a hotel, I would have put myself in that woman's shoes and I would have said, hey, if this was my daughter, I would want somebody's help and I would want somebody to act. If I come to you and say, hey, I know my daughter was here. This is the last place she was seen alive. She's missing. Her friends are saying she's missing. I would want someone to go and look for my daughter, but they refused to do that.
Right. And I remember that because I was outraged too. It's like, I'm looking for my daughter. I'm not trying to hang out. I'm not trying to party. But you're saying that I'm being a disturbance to the hotel guests, which they were knocking on the hotel guest room door. But it's like, listen, if you're not going to review the tapes, then I need to review the guests and find out if somebody's seen my child. So if they would have...
I think the mother felt it in her soul that something was wrong.
Yeah, like if y'all look at the tapes, y'all would have seen my baby go down to the freezer area. I wouldn't have to check their door because you would have said she down by the freezer. We all could have ran to the freezer and probably saved her life. So I get what you're saying for sure.
Yeah, and then the other thing, one thing that really, really bothered me was whenever the moment, allegedly, that she was discovered, that beverage manager went straight to that freezer. I mean, that kitchen is huge. But for him to make a beeline for that freezer door and go back and say, hey, this is where I found her at. She's down here. And then the other story was that he thought one of the police officers was walking behind him. There's no way he did. He went and lost that police officer and went straight to that freezer. He already knew. In my mind, when I saw him walk to that freezer, in my mind, he already knew she was there. And she was placed there. I mean, she had a lot of, her brain was swollen. She had bruises on her ankle. Her ankle was swollen. It was bleeding. It was consistent with having been sprained, broken, and or both. The places that she had on her body, her hair, when she went to this party, you could tell she liked to wear her weave. Her hair was bone straight. When we saw her in the freezer, she had all kinds of debris, food particles or whatever in her hair. It was wet. There was milky substance also in the pictures in her hair. It just didn't make sense. For them to say she walked in this freezer, laid down, and died. There were too many things wrong with this girl's body for someone to say she just walked into this freezer and died. And then the excuses that they gave the public, those didn't sit well with me because, for them to say she was frozen, there's no way she's going to go from being bent up in the freezer in the pictures to laying straight on that gurney.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're frozen, it's going to take time. And they're not going to be able to just straighten you out and put you on a gurney.
I don't remember seeing photos of her on a gurney, but I do remember the photos of her in the freezer because I was watching all of it. I seen like her pants was coming down and, it was a mess. It was just truly a mess.
And to me, the way she really looked to me, she looked like maybe someone sexually assaulted her. And the way her arms were positioned, they were positioned in a way that were defensive. Like the way she placed them had me thinking like maybe in the moment that she actually died, she was being choked because it seemed like her hands were up as if maybe she had one by her side and then one was up, like maybe she was trying to get somebody off of her.
Mm-hmm.
And in moments where it's an extreme case where you die, and you're being like, say you have this adrenaline rush and everything when you die, it is possible for you to die in the position in which you actually die in, and you're not movable. They can't move your bones or place you here or place you there.
Right.
She just seemed like somebody that went through great trauma. Her lips were busted. It was places on the pictures where you could tell even the pictures had been edited. They took these pictures to Target to have these pictures edited before they released to the public. And
wait, to Target? I don't remember that. You said they took them to Target?
Yeah. Target is who edited these photos. You can go back and look, and if I have time, I'll find it and email it to you.
Okay, yeah, you can email it to me. I had even covered it was like a video on my page. My child is just doing the most right now, y'all, so excuse my baby. But she was supposed to be in her room while I go live and cover a news story real quick. And she's supposed to be doing her homework. But what I was saying? Oh, so I had a video when I followed up on this story, and it was another footage angle, and it was showing how they were in the hotel room and how it looked like one of her friends went into the bathroom and they had a drink, and then it was something suspicious with a cup that they were taking, and it looked like they was giving it to her. Yeah, they looked like they was
a pill in her mouth.
Yeah, it looked like they was but it looked like they it was something fishy with the drink. The girl, hold up, actually, let me try to find it, because I covered it. I covered it on my channel, and I had that video, and it was pretty much her.
You could be talking about the other girl too. There was another girl, which is there's the guy Ty who went live in one of his videos.
Yeah, it was his girlfriend.
Had the messed up eyes. No, his sister.
Oh, that was his sister.
Actually, his stepsister. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was somebody that was with
one
him.
who was in the bathroom who looked like she put something in the drink, and she walked out, and the girl asked her where she was going, and she was like, "I'm about to go give this to that girl over there."
Right, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm about to pull it up right now.
They do believe she was drugged, even if she drank. They said that, basically that she's drank like that before and never acted like that. But them saying that she had other meds in her. Thing about it is that when this story first happened, they had the autopsy is dated for 1 day, but they actually didn't do the autopsy for a couple of days, because I remember the mother coming out and saying that the person who actually was responsible for the autopsy, she kept calling about it, and they said that the person that was going to do the autopsy was out of town. So it took a few days. So if she had something, in her system, sometimes things that get slipped to young people, this is stuff that breaks down, in life and in death, and you're not going to see it in their system, if you don't do an autopsy right away.
Yeah, because it could leave their system.
The things that they did find, is probably things that, lasted longer than, a certain amount of time, but, the maybe what she had didn't, and she didn't have an autopsy right away.
Right.
I remember her mother saying for days they were playing around with her, and she didn't know where her daughter's body
was
located.
Go do your homework. I'm serious. Now. Go do your homework. Yeah, I hear you. Girl, the life of a mom. We can multitask here at the same time. But yeah, her mom was saying a lot of stuff. Her friends were saying a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff didn't make sense. I'm going to show this clip really quickly for those of you who don't remember what was going on. But this is the second video. You can stay on the line if you want, or whatever. Yeah. But I'm going to show this video. So this is the night where it was like another angle. I'm going to go towards the end of it. Let's see. Around.
That gyro she did is they turn the music on, folks. Okay, I'm reloaded. Fuck River Tucci. I'm good, I'm Gucci.
Can y'all see that?
I need to smoke. Fuck everybody. I'm in my own zone, nigga.
Okay, so this is when they were in the bathroom. Now. I'm gonna get it today, girl. Right, and so the girl that she was walking to, the direction that it looked like was Kenneka's direction. So yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of those videos are on my channel, and y'all could check them out. It was a lot of stuff that you say you don't want to watch it. You don't want to watch what, Stevie J? Stevie J be talking mess. But yeah, thank you for calling in though. Is there anything else you want to say regarding this case?
No, I just think, it was just unfortunate. And at the end of the day, I think the mom is, right and, suing at the end of the day, yeah, we could say she was 19 and she was responsible for herself, but, she was in an establishment that was, required to keep the actual area that she was actually found in, under lock and key, away from public access.
Right. It definitely should have been not. It should have not been accessible.
Whether somebody took her, whether she was led, whether she led herself, which I don't believe, she was found there. And so, at the end of the day, the hotel has a liability to the mother, and that's just the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said, Neek, that's not school. Wow, that do not respect what happened to this black girl. Wait, what?
Well, yeah, it is somebody on here that's being like real disrespectful towards Kenneka. And the thing about that is that, at the end of the day, she was a victim of whatever happened to her.
Oh, I didn't catch none of that.
It's never cool to disrespect the dead.
Yeah, I didn't even see. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm like, huh? But yeah, so I don't know. I just know that it's jacked up. I feel like the hotel was negligent because, like you said, whether somebody led her down there.
There's just so much more we could talk about that we can't even get into tonight because, like my comment earlier, I was talking about how, it was believed that this hotel had, illegal immigrants working for them and how this hotel is owned by David Friedman, which is one of Donald Trump's friends. Donald Trump appointed him as the ambassador for Israel. Mm-hmm. And as hard as we're going with this illegal immigrants and them wanting to build walls and things of that nature, I don't think it would have been cool for it to have been an illegal immigrant, to, be the one who would have done something to Kenneka, because they're saying that these people were sent out of town immediately after this thing happened, that were working at this hotel, that were in the kitchen on video around the time that she walked through that area on camera.
Oh, so, really? I didn't hear that part of it.
Oh, yes. It's a lot to it. That's why I say I've been following since day one. A lot of people who are coming, and they're just going by news stories. And the reality is you got to dig a little deeper because there's layers to this thing.
Right. There is a lot of layers in this story. There was a lot of accounts. I even had like one video where there was a guy who called in and claimed that the reason that it happened was because some guys didn't get along with Kenneka's brother or something like that. And
you know what? That guy that called in, I think I know what you're talking about. And he was saying how the guys were basically trying to like run the train and she wasn't for it.
Yeah.
Is that a video you're talking about? Because that was one of the first people who came out and said, this was before we even knew anything on the news. And this is before, because I don't know if you remember when it came out, but they were trying to say that her body was found in the kitchen on the lower level. Mm-hmm. When her body was actually found in the kitchen that's on the main floor with the lobby.
Right. They were saying that it was the lower level. And I've always thought it was the lower level.
This guy came out and he said that, in his, whatever interview or whatever it was. He said that. He said her body wasn't found on the lower level. It was found in the kitchen that's on the lobby. That's on the same floor as the lobby. He said that before that ever even came out to the public. So that just led me to believe that maybe he did talk to someone that was there at the party who knew what was going on or knew a little bit about what happened. But I think her friends, these are kids at the end of the day. They may be grown up legally, but they're kids, 19 years old. And I just feel like I feel like it was messed up for them to leave her, because I know me and my friends, when we go somewhere, we come together and we leave together.
Yeah.
And I think it was messed up what her friends did.
Yeah. I feel like it's not right to blame the mom, though, because when I was 19 and I was 18, I was going to hotel parties and I was going to clubs and I was going to places and I had a car to drive anywhere that I wanted to go. So to say, oh, the mom is at fault, I think that that's jacked up, because I wasn't taking drugs or nothing like that, but I was 19 and I was having fun. I was living my life. I was being,
I know what some of my friends were doing at 19. You know, I know what people that were my age were doing at the age of 19.
Right.
You know, so it's not hard to believe that this girl, you know, told her mom she was going one place and ended up another place. I mean, that happens. But I'm pretty sure she didn't expect the lie to turn into her losing her life.
Right. I agree with you on that one. It's a sad case. Let me see if I could find that phone call, because I covered that on my channel also.
Yeah, he gave a lot of information.
Yeah, he definitely did. He was what video was it? Hold on, let me try to find it, y'all. But you can keep talking in the meantime. I'm trying to find it. But yeah, and the mom, even too, like when she tried to like protest and she tried to like bring awareness, like they made it difficult for her to like get the word out to even
they took
try.
Her to court. They took her to court and they filed a gag order on her. The mother wasn't able to talk about it for a very long time. I mean, I don't know. She may still be under this gag order, but yeah, they took her to court because they were losing money. You know, that's their bottom line. So they're gonna do whatever they need to do to protect their money.
Yeah, I didn't know that they had a gag order on her.
Oh yeah. They have a gag order on Teresa.
Okay, so while I look for the oh dang, okay, wait. Let's see if I could separate this and it still show y'all. This is her friends when they were going to the this is her friends on the way to the funeral. Is it gonna show? Okay, let's see. That's them on the way to her funeral. Like, what friend is gonna be turned up like that on the way to your funeral? Okay. Oops. What did it do? And that's her footage of her funeral. I was kind of showing like who the friends were and stuff like that. But somebody said it's not the mother's fault, but we have to be on our daughter's back only because women is such an easy target. Right. I mean, I agree with that. True. That's definitely true. We definitely have to be on our children to make sure that they are on the right path when we let them out of our sight. That's true. Definitely true.
Now, them friends, you know, at the end of the day, you know, like I said, they were not, you know, looking back, I'm pretty sure they feel like they weren't the best of friends. They weren't the best of friends. I don't know if they had anything to do with it or not, but, you know, kids do crazy things. And, you know, if they had anything to do with it, karma is going to come back. But I really think it was those people at the hotel because, you know, like people kept saying, why would the hotel cover for a bunch of black kids?
Right. I don't know. I feel like it was very suspicious how it came out about the whole freezer and then like the whole hotel being connection with like the organs and everything like that.
Well, I think Monisa has something to do with it. I think maybe she knows exactly what happened. And I just believe that, she's probably scared to say anything at this point.
I found it. Okay, so I
think she know what happened.
I finally found the phone call. I was like, dang, where am I find it? Hold up, y'all. Okay, hold up. I'm going to play it because this is what I was talking about. Okay, as I promised. Yeah, that was me trying to cover it. Okay, hold up. A cell phone call that somebody who knew information of the events that happened. This is what he had to say. I'm going to play it. All right, here it goes.
The party, like at the party, the shit was packed out. Like my little cousin sent me videos. I still got the videos on my phone and shit. Like the party was packed out, but like it's a hotel party.
Yeah.
She's not stuff like these not like, don't get me wrong, she looks mad good. She get a buck with, she's not no city like up class, but like she's a regular hood bitch.
Yeah.
So like she get high, she pop pills. And she's a eater, like the bitch do what she do. So like it's not that she get ran or get trained. You feel me? Bitch, you go to hotel parties, it's 4 in the morning, now I'm trying to go home.
Yeah, true.
So they was gonna stay at the crib, they was gonna stay at the room that night. Shit. But the bitch was playing. She was in the room the whole time of the video. She put one thing that I know might not lie because she tells me a part of the video to go watch. That I came out before I even knew who this was. Like everybody asked me, I'm from Chicago, in Brooklyn. They're like, you know that bitch? I'm dumb. Like I don't really give a fuck about it. I'm like, nah, I don't know her. There's 3 million people there. But when my little cousin called me, like, yo, I used to see what happened to Shorty. I'm like, Shorty, who is that? He tells me, like, that's my mom, that Ruth Ann's granddaughter and all that stuff. I'm like, word, she grew up. So the nigga, basically what happened, like, said, after the niggas was trying to fuck her, they trying to run her. She wasn't for the run, the train shit. You feel me? She was fucking with one nigga. Maya told me part of the video.
He's talking so fast.
Bed and get on top of him, like, kiss him. She rolled over, but no one knows that part of that type shit. But she fucking, after she did what she did, they was chilling, they was smoking and shit, and she ducked off on her own. You feel me? Like, she ducked off on her own type shit. That's when they got her on video walking past the front desk. Like, first of all, the freezer's not in the fucking basement. Ain't no freezer in the basement. The freezer was in the kitchen. You feel me? It's in the kitchen. That's on the main floor by the lobby area. So like that.
So she went by herself. Why the best friend saying, I thought she was behind me?
Yeah, because the best friend lied. And what's crazy is that they said something about the freezer in that live video.
So in the room. Not really writing like they say she's writing. You feel me?
Oh, okay.
Like, I if I answer number, I can three-way you believe right now. Like, she's not really writing like she's writing. She's not dead. None of that shit. But the situation is, she went down there and said, you feel me? Now, the whole time, but like, Maya saying she feel like Manisa might have something to do with it, you feel me? But ain't that in that room, you feel me? But, you feel me? Now, whatever plan Manisa and the nigga that owned the motherfucking situation, but it was a coincidence. It wasn't like, it was no something. Dude got caught in the act. He copped the plea. Like, he did a deal with her type shit. Like,
that was one of the conversations. Y'all could look up this on my channel though, because his conversation was long. But yeah, I just wanted to.
And that's the thing. And he was talking so fast.
Yeah.
That, how you gonna make all that up that quick? I mean, if he made all that up that quick, he a daggone good storyteller.
Yeah, he was talking really fast. I was like, oh, he's talking fast. But if any of you guys didn't follow this story when it happened, I post several videos on it. That video is on my channel. So if you go in my videos and then you hit the search and you type in Kenneka, then you'll be able to find that video. But people are starting to call and play on the phone, so I'm going to hang up the phone lines. Thank you, callers, so much for calling in.
Problem.
I appreciate you calling and giving your insight, girl. You did your homework because you definitely been watching this case.
Been on the case. Nika, I done lost sleep. This case done freaked me out. I'm telling you, like, this thing, it didn't just touch, Chicago. This thing touched people all around the world. This is not just something here. And, I see so many people from out of this country that talk about Kenneka. Her smile, her personality just touched a lot of people's hearts. So, a lot of people have followed the story. And, we just want the truth. Whatever that may be, we just want some form of justice for Kenneka, because that's what this thing is about.
Yeah, definitely. And I appreciate you calling in. Thank you guys so much for weighing in on this topic.
Have a good night.
You too, girl.
All right.
But yeah, so now that it's all said and done, the mother is now suing, and hopefully she gets herself compensated. And even her getting compensated is not going to bring her child back. It's not going to comfort her, but at least she can get some form of justice for her daughter's situation and the negligence of the hotel, who may or may not be responsible, whatever the case may be. Hopefully the mom gets some type of justice in that regard, although that money will never, ever, ever bring her child back. But yeah, so that's all for that video. Thank you guys, everybody who called in to give your opinion on the situation. I appreciate it. And now I got to go tend to my baby kid. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Those of you who did not catch this video live and you have thoughts and opinions on this whole Kenneka case, I want to know what you guys think about this situation also. Is there something that you remember or you recall when this whole case was going on that maybe sound fishy to you or just seemed a little crazy, or, something that like rung a bell and you were like, something ain't right there? I want to know what you guys think about it as well. All right, guys. Peace.